I want to know about Kubrick's working process because, as I understand it, obviously it's written about all the time about the numerous takes, but I want to know what that does to you as an actor, what that process is. Where do you start?
Well, I don't think, I'm not sure that Matthew would say the same thing, and I know that I wouldn't say the same thing. I mean, I didn't get numerous amount of takes. I was present 1 or 2 days in a row where there was 70 or something more takes with a particular actor, but that was very rare. I have to tell you, in my own experience, I have to tell you that was not a common thing. That the this big scene in the middle of the movie where my character kills the sergeant and then kills himself was done in 3 takes. And that's not including the special effect. And the special effect was done fairly quickly. It worked really well. A guy blew with his mouth, blew a soaked tissue past my head to hit the wall. And we did that a few times. There was no explosive in the rifle or anything like that. It was just all acting. I held it to my mouth, and I pulled the trigger. There was no explosive at all. And I just threw my head back as this guy fired this, blew this red soaked tissue behind my head. But the acting part of it was done in 3 takes. I only did my side in 3 takes. I don't remember how many takes Matthew did, but I remember it not being a lot at all. Maybe the same amount of me or maybe more. I don't know, but I know it wasn't a lot. Mm-hmm. I remember that scene very particular. I also remember hearing a lot of stories, like you said, that you've heard about Stanley doing many takes, so I know he had that reputation. But I don't know if I was lucky or what was going on there, but we never did that. I think the most takes I ever did was 11 takes, and that was because it was during the blanket party. There's a shot where everybody's getting out of their beds in a sort of sequence while the dolly rolls on a track. And so that was he wanted it to have a certain rhythm to it as the camera comes up onto the bunk and you see Joker and Cowboy, if I'm correct, starting to talk to Leonard before he gets pummeled by the blanket party.
Right.
So that was a very particular shot, and I only had to do it. I had to do it like 11 times. I remember it being really exhausting because it was a very emotional scene for my character, but that's what I was being paid to do.
Right. But could you feel as opposed to just establishing what you'd want to do on the first take and essentially repeating it each subsequent take, did you feel it evolving? Was that the kind of process it was in any given scene?
Yeah, it evolved. I mean, Stanley, I think appreciated actors that each take would, as long as they didn't slow the rhythm down and the pace of things, he liked things to be at a certain pace. But as long as, he liked, the one thing I do remember is that he did like actors that would start at 0 each time and not repeat the exact same thing each time, but do a variation on what he liked, what the actor liked and what Stanley liked. His main directions to me were, keep the pace up, do it faster, and you can do better. Just do it again, do better. And nothing specific about that last take other than if I wasn't in the correct light, he would make sure I understood. If there was a line reading that he thought the words were better the way I said it or better the way he thought about it in his head, he would then say, you know what, reverse those 2 words, and so that I would do that. It was like that kind of a thing.